Hello, everyone. Let's start with the fundamental question. Why does prompt engineering even matter? The short answer is that it's absolutely essential. I'll pull up ChatGPT, right? And we can ask ChatGPT, what is a cognitive mirror? And ChatGPT will think through it and come back with a response. Okay, so this is a very vague prompt, right? And it's like, this is like a thing in science, right? Or you could do something like this. I am working on decentralizing the internet. I am using AI agents to deduplicate and compress the internet. I am also using semantic hashing and turning tokens into symbols to further reduce the size of the internet by another 60%. NVIDIA just announced its Project Digits. It can do a quadrillion calculations a second. It has 1.4 teraflops of power. With this much power, would I be able to create a cognitive mirror? All right, so we adjust the prompt a little bit and we see what comes out. So the computational power you described is impressive and could certainly serve as a strong hardware foundation for complex AI tests. However, creating what you refer to as a cognitive mirror involves more than just raw processing speed, but key points to consider. What this is saying is that a cognitive mirror is something that could exist in real life. It is actually a reality tunnel, right? And it's a machine that will allow you to see the future, right? And if then I give it instead, say, my entire cognitive mirror blueprint, right? And then ask it to describe a cognitive mirror now, right? It's going to give us a much different answer. And it's going to tell you a cognitive mirror is a decentralized intelligence system that reflects and organizes the vast knowledge of the internet into a locally accessible, continually updated, and privacy-preserving resource. Okay? And it's a decentralized knowledge repository that basically can be used to analyze all the knowledge of the world and utilize that to predict the future. All right? And that's the power of prompt engineering, right? You can go from people talking to LLMs or AI models like ChatGPT and asking it basic questions and trying to extract stuff from it. But the real power in these AI models is knowing what information to feed it to get the answers that you want. And I truly believe that AI can solve any problem that knowledge can solve. You just need to figure out what you need to put into the prompt. And then so I'll hit a lot of roadblocks. And then sometimes I won't get the answers I want. But I know for a fact that AI is not the problem. All AI is doing is it's just math. It's calculating probabilities, and it's calculating the probability of what would most likely say be the next letter or the next word or sentence. And so if AI is not giving me the answer I want, I know the problem is me. I need to get smarter and figure out what the prompt needs to be to get the answer I want. Even generating the answer for, say, how to build superintelligence. When it comes to breaking down processes, AI actually lets us break things down in a quite unique way. All right. So when you're using an AI model, all right, what happens is that you can ask it a question, like say, what color are apples? And it's going to give you a response, right? And so you can also take responses, which are answers, and tell the AI, generate me a prompt that will give me this exact same answer. Okay? And so what this means is that answers equal prompts, prompts equal answers. So it's a whole new way of looking at the world. You could start analyzing the world from the answer and solving your problems from the answer instead of starting with the question. It's a whole new mindset that you can take on when you realize that the answers to questions are in the answer that you're looking for. So a lot of times if you're like, you can just start with, this is the answer I'm looking for, write me a prompt that'll get me to this answer. And it's a really powerful way of using this, okay? And then it gives you the prompt, you put the prompt in, boom, you get the answer you want. Very, very powerful. One of the things about AI is AI has been trained on data sets that are like, they're massive. They're like all the history of the world, like all the magazines, notebooks, texts, books, articles, like everything throughout all of history that we have written down gets compiled, and then the AI model gets trained on all of this data and like on the entire Wikipedia webpage, etc. Right? And like one of these data sets is like 80 terabytes. It's huge, right? And so let's say this whole region, this is what humans know. This is all knowledge and human existence right here. But AI knows this much. So even though AI has been trained on all of human knowledge, it's made connections in those patterns that humans have never discovered. And so one thing that's really powerful about AI is understanding with prompt engineering, understanding what you can do to tap into this knowledge. This is where you start having really fun conversations where you're sitting there talking to AI about things that humans have no idea about. Like when I was talking to it about the cognitive mirror and building a machine to see the future. And it's like walking me through all the steps. It's wonderful. This is how I was using this in college. Okay. All right. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for this. This is how I was using this in college. So let's say you get one of these recording devices and you go to class and you record the lecture, right? And you get home and you open up, no, not Paint. Open up a new Word document and you go over here to this dictate, this transcribe dropdown. You can upload an audio. Boom. You can just upload the audio of an entire class. Microsoft Word will transcribe it. It'll look something like this. It'll have the whole transcription. You can add it to the document with speakers, with timestamps, with speakers and timestamps. Sure, right? And then I took the whole thing, right? And then I'm going to take it and, we can put it into, say, like Gemini or any AI model, right? And be like, speaker 1 is my professor. Give me... This is fun. This is really fun for homework assignments. Check this out. I want you to review all the topics we spoke about today. Then I want you to tell me what you know about these topics that human beings most likely have no idea about. All right? And then it's going to come back and it's going to be like, well, this. Acknowledgement of indigenous land. Speaker 1 begins with a land acknowledgement recognizing the ancestral home of the Kanza, Osage, and Pawnee tribes and the continued presence of other indigenous nations in Kansas. This is tones for respect and historical awareness. Where are we at? What I know that humans don't know. Vast data collection, statistical trends. I can instantly access and analyze vast data sets related to the workplace. Sometimes the prompt isn't the problem. Sometimes it's just the AI model. Because they all have different trainings. They're all going to process the data differently, and they're all going to spit out different information. And oh yeah, this was about the Dr. Martin Luther King speech. This was a great speech that K-State had. Okay, so I listened to this speech on Dr. Martin Luther King that they had at K-State, and this says the most profound insight that humans might not know is that the human brain is actually wired to resist change and seek safety over freedom. Yet paradoxically, the greatest sense of safety comes from embracing change and pursuing authentic freedom. This biological contradiction helps explain why personal growth and social change are simultaneously so difficult and so rewarding, right? And so I would just like record lectures and I'll be like, hey, AI, what do you know that humans don't know? And then I would like do my homework assignments on them, right? And then it would like blow the teacher's mind. And like classes, they would be like, there's no, in the syllabus, it would say no extra credit in this class. And then I would get like extra credit on like 20 to 30% of my assignments just because I blew their mind just with this little simple trick, right? And It's really that easy. It's like sometimes when it comes to prompt engineering, it's just how creative you can be. And the level of creativity that you can achieve with prompt engineering is almost endless, right? But you do have to be careful, right? You have to be careful when it comes to AI because you see, in life, here's a chart. So in life, everybody that's ever started any successful business ever, the concept of the business was they figured out how to do something faster, more efficiently, or more cost effective than everybody else. And that's why their business was so successful. All right. And so when you're thinking about that way, you're thinking in this region right here. Okay. And this is the ABCs of life, right? And the ABCs of life stand for always be cheating. All right. I know that sounds bad, but I'm going to explain. Give me a second. So always be cheating. What does that mean? So teachers, they tell you never cheat. And this is the never cheating range, right? This is where you are when you're never cheating, right? And this, when you're thinking faster, more, how can I take, this is like over here in this range. This is when they tell you, this is how you need to do something. And then this is, if you're thinking in this range, you're like, well, I think I can figure out a faster, more efficient, more better way, cost-effective way of doing this, right? And you're trying to figure that out. And when you're doing that, you're cheating, but you haven't gone into this range. And this range, the red, this is where you're cheating yourself. And you never want to cheat yourself. So it's very difficult. So when you use AI, right, you can use AI to take a question, put it into the AI, get the answer, and maybe like answer the question that you were trying to do to pass a test or whatever, right? But ultimately at that point, you haven't learned anything. You're just cheating yourself. And so when you are using AI, you need to constantly be asking yourself, am I cheating? The good type of cheating to where I'm getting ahead? Like when I was using AI to say, hey, I'm taking the lectures and I'm like, what is the, what do you know that humans don't know? It's like, yeah, I mean, technically you could say I was cheating, but I mean, I was learning things that like groundbreaking things, right? And like, I was like expanding my mind in great ways. And I was like, I'm cheating, but I'm not cheating myself, right? And then it's very important that because with AI, you're always in this little realm and it's very easy to drop into this territory or go back to this territory. And you always want to stay right in here, right in the yellow, but you got to take caution when you're in the yellow at all times, right? You never want to go into the red or black. So when you're using AI on projects, just make sure you're asking yourself, am I cheating myself? Because you never want to cheat yourself, but you always want to be cheating. And the important thing here is also to note that your teachers are telling you to play over here, okay? And what happens when your teachers tell you to play over here is they tell you things that they think are truthful, but in reality, they're telling you things in this circle. And if you then take what your professors tell you and then say, hey, AI, is this true? And then AI might tell you, yes, it is true. Or it might tell you, no, because there's something out here, right? And you might identify something in this region, okay? And this is going to be something that, AI knows that humans don't know. It's not your professor's fault, but you are going to find that your professors and your teachers and people who educate you in life now with AI, a lot of what they're saying is not correct. And if you question everything, AI will start telling you about the stuff that we don't know. I'm not telling you everything that they're saying is wrong, but enough of it is off, or there's enough of it where you can ask AI and it'll tell you a different answer, and that answer will make sense with the knowledge that AI possesses. And that is the true power in AI, is being a person that questions everything. So AI always gives you the right answers. You just need to know what to ask it. And if you just question everything in the world, you'll be asking it the right questions.